Hi, good morning. Uh, Lots of you don't have seats. If you have a seat next to you, just put your hand up. Maybe they can come and sit down. There's a lot of people standing. Yeah? Okay. All right. Well, listen, my name's ASHESH. I am happy to be here, happy to be back in Italy. Fantastic crowd. Great to see so many people in the audience. I do not have the energy of Rodolfo, right? So clearly he's had a lot of coffee this morning. But I'll try to do my best to make this up with our strategy and the future direction we're going in. Red Hat technology, all of you are here because you are experiencing Red Hat technology. But you're not alone. Red Hat technology is being used all over the world. Okay, so I'll give you some examples of where this happens. If you are in the United States, you fly Delta Airlines, and you get on the flight, use the Wi-Fi on the plane, that's running Red Hat technology on the back end. That's OpenShift helping serve up your access. You go to Switzerland, you use Swiss Rail, you've got Red Hat technology helping you, showing you your train schedules. You go to India, you make a phone call, chances are using Red Hat technology. In fact, you make a financial services transaction at this point, probably anywhere in the world, you're probably using Red Hat technology. I guess if you're in Italy using Poste Italiane, you're using Red Hat technology. If you're in the United States, you're using UPS to check the status of your package using Red Hat technology. Red Hat technology helped with citizens in Latin America get their COVID dashboards. So whether it's in financial services, in governments, in healthcare, in industry, all over the world, Red Hat technology is at the foundation of how mission-critical applications are being delivered. The question then is, where do we go next from where we are right now? Right? We've deployed this technology successfully in both traditional as well as cloud-native applications, running it at scale everywhere around the world. You ask yourself, what is challenging your IT operations, right? You've got to get beyond the ilities, right? The reliability, the scalability. Make sure you're delivering the technology at the scale that's required from your customers. And now, increasingly, customers are asking, what is driving innovation? So when you hear innovation these days, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Are you using AI? But before we get to AI, let's think about what the foundation for that AI technology is. It's still open hybrid cloud. It's still the ability to say, I can run these applications in a virtualized environment, in bare metal if I need to. I can run them in my own data center. I can run them in a public cloud. I can run them even out increasingly to the edge. I can do that with a traditional application. I can do that with a cloud-native, modern, microservices-based application. I can do that by allowing my teams to collaborate, allowing my developers to become much more productive. And I can do that in a secure way with more automation. And this open hybrid cloud is evolving, all right? And we see that consistently, right? We see increasing amounts of focus to take advantage of this automation, of this developer productivity, of security out into the edge on a foundation of AI. And we'll talk about exactly what that means. And that AI is running on an open hybrid cloud. So open source and AI, let's talk about that. We firmly believe, like we have for more than 25 years, that open source AI models will win. Right now, there's a lot of push behind proprietary AI models, and we believe, just like what happened with Linux, and with Kubernetes, and with virtualization, and with application services, open source will eventually win out. Right? How will that happen? Will happen by grounding ourselves. Today, right now, we're here in Milan. We are here in the generative AI era. But this generative AI era was built on a past where everything became open over time. Corporate IT became open. We started adopting clouds, running these open technologies first in a private cloud, then a public cloud, then multi-cloud and hybrid cloud. And that led us to being able to run these AI models in a diverse environment. Governments became open. Governments all around the world now increasingly are running on open source-based technologies. What else became open? Finance became open, right? Banks, insurance companies, your credit applications increasingly is being run on open technologies. With the advent of Edge and 5G, well, it started before 5G, even with 4G, we saw telcos become open, but increasingly now out to the edge. Manufacturing became open. Industrial and automation became open increasingly as we're deploying these technologies to the edge. And so we're seeing open as the basis of all this movement that's happened for the last 25 years. And we believe that's going to happen to AI as well. So we see a future where open source plays a huge role in AI. That's going to come with open source models. And when we say open source, we mean the source of the data being open, the weights being open around it, and indemnification being provided for it. Now, at the last Red Hat Summit, we announced an open sourcing of the work that we're doing with IBM Research around a Granite family of LLMs, large language models. Right? That's the work that IBM Research has been doing over a long period of time. We brought that to market at Red Hat Summit. And these models are extremely performant. Right? And this is a publicly available paper. You can access it to see the results for yourself. Right? But this is comparing the Granite models along with a series of well-known models that you know and how they're performing against them. Now, what is the difference here that we're talking about? We're talking about smaller model sizes, right? So there's been a huge rush to have bigger and bigger models with billions and tens of billions and over 100 billion parameters. The Granite models we're talking about are 7 now with Granite 3.0 that just came out, 8B models. And the focus for us is to say, can we have smaller models that are much, much easier to serve and obviously reduce inference costs along with that to be able to solve the specific problem that you have. Imagine you're an insurance company and you're trying to provide quotes for that company for your customers. Does that model also need to be really good at weather simulation? Probably not, right? There's probably enough information that's already stored within your own environment that you can generate the quote without it also being able to simulate, when the next hurricane or tornado is coming. Now, this is the kind of work that a small model can do much more efficiently than an extremely large model, right? That can help serve a variety of different use cases. Now, add to that the ability to contribute to and train large language models. Can you take your own data, your own knowledge, your skills, and put that to work within the model so that your data stays with you, but you use that to train the models? That's the technology called Instruct Lab that we open sourced. That's in conjunction with IBM. Now, this is completely brought to market by us. And this is the ability for you to be able to have ownership of your LLMs and be able to have that take your data and provide a much more accurate representation that's appropriate for your environment. So in this way, Red Hat will allow you to run your business with your own AI, train it with your own data, and keep it with yourself. The power of this is tremendous, right? Because now you're in control of where you want to go with this. Now, this will allow companies to become more comfortable in saying, I'm going to adopt AI at a bigger scale. One of the biggest reasons that we see for companies to hold back on AI is to say they're worried about security, they're worried about governance, they're worried about their data being stolen. In one case, there was a company that used an OpenAI, a model that was out, available publicly, and then that translated a lot of the information that they provided it, and then gave it to many other people who were using it as well, right? So you cannot control your data in that case. So if you're focused on that as something that's important to you, we definitely have a solution for you. But that's not all. That's not all. Because you want to make sure that not only are you able to run the models that we're providing, but you also will bring your own models, right? Whether these models come from Llama or Mistral or Google or Amazon or Microsoft or many other providers that are out there today, be able to run them at scale with something called OpenShift AI to provide you an MLOps foundation. And then also infuse the ability of AI within our various products. And then be able to run a consistent set of workloads across our platforms. And customers are already doing it today. In fact, at Red Hat Summit, I think it was last year, we awarded an innovation award to someone that was using AI models to be able to better use the citizens of their environment, the Basque region, to make sure that they were able to keep that language and be able to provide answers to them, taking advantage of the language that was appropriate for their use case. So this focus that we have on ensuring that we are customizing your AI models for your own needs, an extremely powerful idea. Now, RHEL AI, or Enterprise Linux AI, is our ability to be able to say, take our Granite AI model, run that at scale, we'll give you an optimized RHEL image, we will make sure that's tuned to run whether it's on NVIDIA, on Intel, on AMD, be able to run that with the advantage of the InstructLab open source technology. Now, this allows for you to have a model in a box to be able to run at scale in an environment that you want, including with our partners such as Dell and Lenovo that are taking this to market. The next step for that is to say, well, not only do I want to use your Granite AI models, but I have AI models of my own that I want to make sure I can run. But I want to make sure those models are served up. We can provide inference against them, allow for detection of drift on those models, make sure that there's a life cycle around those models, ensure that I can maintain them for different folks to start using. That's where OpenShift AI comes in. OpenShift AI is built on the OpenShift platform. If you are an OpenShift user today, a very natural extension for you is to say, I'm going to use OpenShift AI on top to take advantage of not only RHEL AI, which is included in OpenShift AI, but then also take advantage of the new capabilities that OpenShift AI brings to bear. That's extremely powerful because all the work that you've done in becoming an expert on OpenShift will transfer immediately with OpenShift AI. The work that you've done to certify RHEL will transfer immediately to adopting RHEL AI. And then you couple that with automation. You're still living in a world where you have a lot of existing application environments that are traditional in nature. How can you bring more automation to bear for networking? How can you do that in a secure environment? How can you take advantage of playbooks that help you run that at scale? Ansible is the way to go. There's new capabilities coming on a consistent basis to Ansible to allow for a hybrid world to be possible, to be able to use Ansible not only in traditional data centers, but also out in the cloud. We just released Ansible as a service on AWS now. We already have that available in Microsoft. So increasingly, you can use Ansible in various different forms to bring automation to bear for your environments. So you have RHEL AI, you have OpenShift AI, you have Ansible for automation, and you couple that by saying, can I inject that AI directly into my products? So whether it's Ansible, it's Linux, it's OpenShift for Kubernetes technologies, all of them now are going to be enabled with AI to make it much easier to use, much easier, for example, to apply patches and updates, and in general, manage that at a much more scalable manner. So we allow for open source to meet AI, and for AI to meet open hybrid cloud. Just like we did for Linux, just as we did it for middleware, just as we did it for automation, just as we did it for containers. AI is the next frontier, and we want to make sure that all those worlds come together for it. With that, I thank you for your time, and I hope to see you around later today.